Here are the most effective lifestyle strategies for accomplishing sustainable weight loss that I have learned with my over 20-year experience of working with patients. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Dr. Jones, a holistic obesity expert that specializes in sustainable weight loss, where me and like-minded medical practitioners work together to address the underlying factors that drive obesity. We use these medications, we get them off the medications and help them sustain their weight for the rest of their life. That's what I'm most passionate about. This is a longer list, but I want you to understand, do not stress out about having to do every single thing on this list. Take a look at these items, and whichever ones seem doable by you, go ahead and incorporate as many as you comfortably can. We don't want to overstress about it. Number one, intermittent fasting. If you're not new to my channel, then you know how passionate about fasting I am. Let's start with intermittent. You take your daily approach towards eating. You look at the first calories you consume and the last calories. We call that your eating window. I want you to constrain that to 8 hours, maybe even 6 to 8 hours. That's intermittent fasting. I want you to roll with that. Number two, ketogenic diet. Now, ketogenic diet, there's a reason why the other version that used to be called Atkins was very popular. It just lacks the sustainable part of it. I am not recommending that you do this for life, but what I am recommending is you start with about 3 to 4 weeks, go as low carb as you can. After that, I then want you to cycle your approach. There's two versions of cycling. You could do week on, week off, with carbs, without, or you can take it every single week and have your lifting days where you're weightlifting, consume carbohydrates, and your non-weightlifting days do not consume carbohydrates. And we have to remember there's something to be said about clean keto versus dirty keto. We cannot get all of our fat consumption from processed, saturated fats. We should get the majority from non-saturated sources like avocados, nuts, small fish, sources like that, and avocado oil and whole avocados are great too as well. We can get some saturated, but we want to get it from cleaner sources. Coconut's one source, and higher quality meat sources. Number three, resistance training. Resistance training is so important because muscle mass is so important. Muscle mass, guys, is a very metabolically active tissue, meaning muscle mass burns more calories at rest to sustain itself than does other tissues like fat. Not to mention, aesthetically speaking, to tighten the look up, to have less loose skin, muscle mass is going to be a big deal, guys. Don't make it harder for yourself and worry about building muscle mass afterwards. Protect the muscle mass that you have by incorporating resistance training 3 days a week. You can go to the gym and you can find some of those circuits that they all have now where you hit each body part. Do not worry about burning calories. This is all about resistance training. If you have no experience at all, find a personal trainer at the gym. 5 sessions is plenty, so they can teach you how to be comfortable with regards to weightlifting. Number four, biohack your sleep. I have separate videos talking about that. Essentially what I mean is you need to change your environment where you sleep. The goal is to get 7 hours of undisturbed sleep. If you're already doing that, you can skip this one, but if you're not, you need to biohack it, and there are plenty of resources online for you to figure out how to improve. Some of my favorites are reducing the temperature at which you sleep, blocking all of the blue light, developing a bedtime routine where you stop working, avoiding the blue lights, and creating this sort of bedtime routine where you start to relax and unwind before you go to bed. Number five, manage your stress. There are so many resources out there for managing our stress. At this point, ever since the pandemic, I think everybody probably has extra stress. I want you to just choose one of the available resources out there to reduce stress, aka improve your body's ability to handle stress. For example, journaling, meditation, breath work, mindfulness are just a couple. Not to mention there are all these different applications and apps that you can get for your phone for stress management. Choose one of them. I personally recommend you add it to your bedtime routine because that'll also help you get better sleep too as well. Finally, using sugar substitutes. Sugar is horrible. We know how bad it is, especially with the next 5 weeks in front of us. We have a lot of sweets that are going to be around us. Let's use sugar substitutes as much as possible. My favorites are stevia and monk fruit, and I'll do a separate video about this probably within the next day or two. The reason why I like stevia and monk fruit is because they're less processed and they're probably healthier for you, but I'd rather err on the side of caution because I do personally think they are. When it comes to diet soda, drink the damn diet soda. Don't freak out about that one because I don't think a couple diet sodas here or there are going to be the death of you. And I do think that regular soda is much worse. Try to get stevia and monk fruit, but don't freak out if you have a couple substitutes. I would still take any of the sugar substitutes over regular sugar. Choose the strategies that I talked about that make the most amount of sense for you and watch the weight fly off your body. Have a happy holiday, guys, and we'll see you later.